is your aftermarket driving growth or getting comfortable? Thank you for joining me. I'm going to blast away through these slides real quick so you don't have to waste time. The reason why I'm recording this is to help you think about why and where to invest in your aftermarket. I'm not an aftermarket expert, but I understand growth can feel like twisted, like this DNA strand, right? I'm not even a biologist to give you a DNA insight, but I understand corporates as I have been in many for 13 years, and growth and corporate DNA can also get twisted and intermingled with each other, which is why IBM's former CEO, Ginny Rometty, so well quoted, growth and comfort never coexists, right? So my question to you is your aftermarket driving growth or getting comfortable? Like I said, I am not an aftermarket expert, which is why I have surrounded myself with those who are. Their profiles are easily available on the internet. They know every nuanced set of pain points that you face, and they have been serving companies like yours for years. My role is to bring them believers, maybe even the crazy ones like Apple would have said, who thinks aftermarket-led growth can be a real thing. And they promised me I don't have to do anything else. So I hope you don't see my face again. So here's a point of view on the challenging situation you're facing in your industry. And I have three big challenges to talk about. And instead of walking you one by one, I'm going to throw it to them all to you at one time so that in case something doesn't click, you may want to jump to that section right away. You're in a business to manufacture or distribute these types of mining equipment, trucks, industrial machinery, and so on. And you realize higher revenue from new asset sales, but that's a low profit game for you, for your corporate. It is a good game for your new equipment sellers because they get higher commissions, but it's a low profit game for your corporates. And when you sell services and parts post sales or after sales, right, you realize higher margins or higher profits, and that's the real game you're in, the aftermarket, right, which is why the after sales business is so lucrative for you. You may have multiple technologies and probably software partners, possibly your own IT custom developed systems for you to reduce all the grunt work in manual labor and so on. But now you have reached that point where it's stifling your growth, not just from a revenue standpoint, but also profitability, reducing operation costs, right? So that's the first puzzle that you're solving. Second, you may have already solved the before puzzle, and now growth for you is strictly new revenue, better customer experiences, tapping into the markets that your corporates hadn't considered before. So the result is that you can visualize yourself to be well positioned to capture your entire parts market either through subscriptions or through optimizations of your various fulfillment models. Generic reports like this are easily available on the internet, right? It might make sense for you. It might make even sense for your competitors' potential. But you have done your homework and know your total addressable market. I obviously don't know your size and scale, but I put this number based on an exercise I heard my leaders do in discussions. I heard the potential projection came up to 5 billion for the next 5 years in both those accounts. So think of this just as a placeholder for now. The third puzzle may be that you dabbled your feet in both these games before for a while now, and that has led to disparate systems, right? It's not so much that the systems have outgrown you or you have outgrown the systems, the value that you're receiving, but it has just become more of a pain to manage. So you're like, yeah, you're not looking for complete displacement, right? But some sort of like a plug and play kind of solution that works for your current customers and your current aftermarket led growth needs. Without that, you're unable to tap into your customer's voice, improve repurchase rates, and manage the end-to-end aftermarket life cycle. All the good stuff. So you're thinking how to optimize all this without it becoming a multi-year transformation project. And I warranty you, in fact, I guarantee that none of the solutions of these three buckets that we have falls into a multi-year, because one of the core technology differentiators that we have is the 3 times the industry standards in terms of time to market. Many OEMs largely depend on their dealer networks for their services and sales. And if that's how your industry works, we believe that the OEM should take a top down approach rather than letting every dealer do their own thing. But I also understand that it's not applicable in certain industries. For example, each dealer is, say, supporting multiple brands. So they need more capabilities than their individual OEMs giving, and they realize that just in markets opportunities that the OEMs have been missing out on, and so they are getting really crafty with how to go to market with aftermarket. But I digress. We support both these approaches, whether you're an OEM or you're a multi-brand dealer. The point I'm trying to drive home with this pyramid structure is that you're probably already segmenting and taking this sort of like a multi-prong approach in your go to market. But for you to succeed in seizing your parts market in its entirety in the next 5 years, you require all the three sales and service channels. Dealers led service and sales is self explanatory. The right one, the service led sales, means that your own workforce is going out on the field servicing your equipment. And by commerce led sales, which at the bottom is because it can be low in terms of commerce may only draw smaller accounts, but it can bring back customers who you may have probably not sold for last 10 to 15 years. So it becomes extremely crucial as part of your strategy for aftermarket led growth. I don't think you can do growth if you don't have all the three in equal proportions in terms of priorities as well as your investments. The challenge is many aftermarket teams today don't have the visibility to do this well or do anything at all. And there lies the crux of the problem. You don't have to have an aftermarket title to care about this visibility. You may be doing one or many of these things and your team as well. I have a marketing in my title, but I'm also responsible for driving sales. I'm not capable to drive the entire growth engine for our business, but I have the responsibility for driving growth. And that's the growth mindset that HCL Software has inculcated in us and our customers have inculcated in us. And I'm sure you are inculcating to your staff day in and day out. Right. So in the perfect world, the aftermarket leader needs visibility across the customer, across his her own team, and the team that he or she depends on, which may or may not be as part of their own organization, right? To give you an example again, maybe you're a dealer, you're front-ending the customer, your own team, so you need this part of the visibility, but you also need to be told by your OEM what you should have in your inventory, like what parts you should carry. They're not sharing the product catalogs for the right equipment, and you're getting frustrated at how outdated these manuals are, and why don't they just tell you that what part you had replaced for this so and so customer, or the superseded parts information that's just not available. Oh my gosh, there's so many challenges. So you need this complete visibility to gain control. As Peter Drucker would have had said, what's not measured, it's not managed. So this is what we offer, a single foundation for aftermarket excellence to gain control that would bring customer centricity. You can read the descriptors: technology consolidation, consistency in the eyes of your customers, whether they found you over the counter, through a non-digital medium, or through your partner's online net portal. Your job is to help them find out where you exist, right? And what parts fit which models. You don't want to burden them with mental struggle to figuring it all out by themselves. And lastly, and most importantly, comprehensive, which is part of this product's DNA that helps you de-risk transformation and maximize your future investments. That's Aftermarket Cloud. We offer dealer management system, which can start giving you ROI from day one. You don't have to wait for all the ducks in the row. Your teams are fully trained. Your partners have received the standard operating procedures, right? And inspection checklists in detail for every symptom that they mapped out a decision tree and to resolve failures faster and run their entire side of the aftermarket. The second, we help you seize your parts market in its entirety with our Commerce for Manufacturing solution. Finally, we have plug and play specialty apps that can manage your end-to-end aftermarket lifecycle, including remanufacturing, which is like a win, 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 win for our people, like your Riemann craftsmen, our planet, obviously, our profitability, not just your profitability, but also your customers' profitability, because they are saving money in buying a remanufactured part. Right? And finally, our partners. One manufacturer, in fact, just through our Reman app, scaled their highly industrialized and quality driven processes and grew annual production by 20% year on year consistently for 8 years. Crazy. This is what we like to call the architecture of our platform and the specialties that we offer. The core is our technology differentiators that fuel the specialties, and these specialties are what's fueled into each of these 3 or 4 solutions. I hope that makes sense. Like I said, comprehensive is in this product's DNA, and so are the best practices that's available in our system out of the box. Whenever possible, do consider us. You are probably having sleepless nights thinking about your business. Are we competitive? Do we need change? Where should we go next? I would love if you can act now and schedule some time with us. What I shared about the importance of aftermarket is not just our point of view. It's some of the industry experts that you recognize, like Deloitte and IDC. They said that too. I was amazed, in fact, with this number that Deloitte pointed out, that 73% of industrial customers are willing to pay a premium for sustainability products and services, like remanufactured parts or fixated first time fixing corporates, right? That being said, I'm very curious to hear what you are seeing in your business. Aftermarket is top priority in many brands' annual reports, so I'm sure it must be yours as well. These are just 2 examples that I picked. Our customers have achieved incredible results, right? You should scan one or many of these case studies that seem interesting to you. The first QR is, in fact, a fireside chat. It's a video format between the Copperberg's field service news editor-in-chief and our VP and aftermarket head. It is full of incredible insights, and they even share some of the change management aspects of how to deploy the DMS in order to be that fast in deployment across 40 plus dealers in the country. I tried to put AI to work with the QRs to denote the sub-industry that we impacted, but it didn't seem very clear, so I had to clarify with the text below. That's the AI world that we live in. So yeah, with that, let's summarize. HCL Aftermarket Cloud might be the only platform that's available in the market that can deliver true aftermarket-led growth across all service and sales channels. We integrate with your existing systems and turn you into an aftermarket powerhouse. Using us, you can drive customer centricity in every resource planning. What does it abbreviate to? ERP, right? Consolidate your tech stack using apps designed for aftermarket. Drive consistency regardless of who directly manages your customer, either a partner who goes to the service, or you do it remotely, or you sending someone to the field, or your customer bringing the vehicle or the component back to your workshop. We manage it all. Bring those MTTRs down, the cycle times down, right? And finally, comprehensive, so you can de-risk the transformation and stay future proof. That's my time to book a meeting. The link is in the description and the email that you might have received. Thank you so much for spending your quality time with HCL Aftermarket Cloud. One more thing, and this is my Steve Jobs moment. Yay. We can't let you go before selling you our vision, which is to fuel the digital plus economy. If you sense you're already digital, think again. We want you to be digital plus, because plus is where the growth comes from.